Hey, what's going on guys, Timzy here, and in today's video we're going to start the long-awaited How to Attack series. I'm sorry it's taken so long, but it's finally here. And these videos are definitely going to be a little bit longer than the How to Defend videos, because there is just a little bit more to go over on these operators individually, and just attack in general. So if this is the first video you guys are watching of the series, I'll leave a link down to the playlist for all of the other sites and maps that I will be doing in the future. And if you guys want to check out the How to Defend series, if you're having trouble on defense, I will leave a playlist link down in the description below for that as well. But anyways, let's get into it. So when it comes to attacking Clubhouse Basement, you're going to want to run two different hard breachers. One's going to be either the Havana or the Maverick, and the second one is going to be the Thermite or the Ace. The reason you want two hard breachers here is you want one person designated to get hatches and the other person designated to get walls. And a lot of the time, either Havana or Maverick are banned. Typically just one of the two are banned. So if Havana is banned, you can run Maverick, and if Maverick is banned, you can run Havana. Now, when it comes to the other operators, you're going to want to run a Sophia, an Ash, and a Sledge. So the most important thing on attack is taking that initial map control, because that allows you to actually breach your hatches open or open your walls to get into the actual site. So what is the best way to kind of take map control? I'll explain it briefly, but I'll go more in depth with each individual operator. Now, the best way to take it is to set up two cameras, one on the top of the main stairs and the other one's going to be top of the red stairs. And that allows one person to flip between the two cams simultaneously and also clear top floor, because if you see nobody coming up the stairs, that means that the top floor is clear. And then besides that, you're going to have the Sophia enter in garage with the drone from the other support player, and they're going to claim more of the ladder and then ultimately go into secret and just sit at the top of the secret stairs. The Ash is going to enter in strip. She's going to drone herself all the way through strip to strip hallway, and she's going to get herself into strip hall to ultimately have a cutoff on the bottom of the main stairs. And as for the Sledge, you're going to have the Sledge take top floor control. Since top floor is clear, you might as well take it, and he could just sledge himself into jacuzzi wall or into logistics from the logistics hatch. Now, before we hop into each individual operator, if you guys are watching this video and you're not currently subscribed to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button and notification bell. It helps me out a ton. It lets me know you guys are enjoying the content, and more importantly, you guys will not miss a future video. But let's get into it. So we're going to be starting out with the Ace/Thermite, and pretty much what you're going to be doing at the beginning of each round is it's either between you or the Havana/Maverick. You guys are going to hop onto these initial pre-placed cams so that you can clear the top floor immediately. Now, this is, probably not the best spot to have them, but you just want to have some info on the top of these main stairs. And then same thing on the top red stairs. Now, you need to coordinate this with another person, obviously, because you want to do this during the prep phase. So you need your drone and someone else's drone to set up for these two different spots. And this is pretty much what you're going to be doing until your Sledge gets in the building. And once your Sledge gets in the building, whether he goes to jacuzzi and opens up this wall, or he goes to Logi hatch and opens up the hatch and drops, you are pretty much going to be droning down main stairs. You want to make sure that nobody's playing aggro at the bottom of main stairs. You might want to check kitchen, hall, and kitchen, just in case anybody decides to sit in some rat corners. And then you want to drone the bottom of the main stairs. Make sure nobody's playing super aggressive. Make sure there's no cams, no pre-placed nitros. Underneath, you could check the hallway, and long, you could check short. You could check underneath here, and look for any vault cams. There might be some vault cams kind of looking at bottom main here, but you just want to make sure there's no pre-placed nitros. Once you do that, it is your job to get into the building at that point, and there are two ways that you typically can attack this objective. Now, when it comes to a church push, a lot of the time you're going to either have the Maverick or Havana open up this hatch, and then as the Thermite/Ace, you are going to try to get yourself downstairs into this short hall or this church hall here. And you can either do that by dropping the moto hatch. Now, if you're Thermite, I recommend dropping moto hatch. If you're Ace, you could easily just go to the bottom of the main stairs and you could just check your Ace charges on the wall. You just want to get some info inside of church, drone it out, and then use these holes to help clear out church, because a lot of the time the most common spots people play in is going to be behind black box. They might have a shield here. They play on the bomb chassis. That's going to be right here. So you just want to open this wall a little bit to kind of make it a little bit harder for them to actually play in there. So once you get that map control, you are going to open up this wall. And then once you open up this wall, you're going to try your best to clear out church. And ultimately, when you end up clearing out church, either you or Maverick, whoever does have the diffuser here, is typically going to be one of the supports. So one of you two will walk in the breach and plant either black box or behind this bar here. Whatever's safest. A lot of the time, the black box plant is the safest, so I recommend planting here. And that is pretty much it. It is really not too complicated. The biggest thing is just getting the initial map control, and then you obviously want to stay alive to try and use your utility to open up walls. Now when it comes to the other attack, typically it's easier if Havana is up because you can open up this kitchen hatch, but you will do a dirt push. Now when it comes to the Ace's job doing a dirt push, all you're going to do is use an Ace inside of dirt to open up this dirt wall. You're going to want to drone dirt out, make sure it's clear. If it's not, sometimes it's not going to be. Sometimes you might deal with a like smoke or some other operator sitting inside of dirt, and the most common spot that they play in is going to be right here, and it's typically the smoke because he's just going to play like a shotgun close angle, and he will probably utilize his smokes in this dirt tunnel in order to stop you or just stall you even longer. And a lot of the time you're just going to be taking dirt control. Once you get dirt control, you want to make sure you clear AKs or K9 here. You want to clear behind these boxes. You don't want to peek too aggressively. I think you guys can kind of learn over time, but you definitely want to make sure nobody's playing dummies. And then for the most part, the plant will most likely come down from the kitchen hatch. If this is open, you can just have somebody drop, probably the Maverick or the Havana. Preferably the Havana here. If Maverick's up, I recommend doing a church push, but you can either plant on this box here with the bomb chassis, or you can kind of plant in this corner too because you have the bomb chassis covering you from that rotate. And from that point on, you guys should be able to get the plant down pretty easily. Now, I know it's going to be quite difficult to comprehend all of this in such a short time. I hope that I can explain it as quick and precisely as I possibly can to make sure this video isn't too long. But we're going to move on to Havana here, and the round is going to start off by you hopping on your pre-placed drone. Typically, it's going to be the two hard breachers that try to get their cam pre-placed on the top of the two stairs. And what you're going to do is you're going to get your cam over on top red, and this allows you to quickly bring your drone into garage, and you're going to drone in the Sophia. And the reason you want to drone the Sophia in is so that she can set up a claymore on this ladder, and then she could ultimately take the blue stairs control. So you want to make sure you clear garage. Once garage is clear, you have Sophia enter into garage, shoot the default cam. You want to make sure you drone out lounge as well as stock, and then after that, you're going to want to drone yourself into, or drone Sophia into secret. Make sure secret is clear, make sure nobody's playing aggressive on the stairs, and then ultimately after that, you were going to leave her to do her thing inside of blue, and I'll get into, or I'll go more in depth on Sophia in a second. But anyways, when it comes to attacking, once you have this initial map control, everybody should kind of be in their positions, and there should be no way that somebody is able to flank up any, like the main stairs, blue stairs, or ladder. You got to think about what take you want to do. Like I said before, there are two different ways to take this. You typically either do a church push or a like dirt kitchen push. Now, this allows you to use Havana to open up these hatches. So let's go ahead and open up these hatches. Now, you do want to be careful with impact tricking. All you need to do is to counter impact tricking is just shoot 2 pellets on at a time. And even if they have, 2 impacts, 4 impacts, you'll still have more than enough pellets to get the kitchen hatch as well as even the moto hatch and possibly the blue hatch as well. But let's go over the church push. So typically when it comes to a church push, you're going to want to have the moto hatch open. And that's super simple. If Cade's banned, that's perfect. If Cade is not banned, you probably want to bring a Maverick here. And what you're going to do is after you get this hatch open, for the most part, you are just going to watch the moto door because you're going to have Ace or the Thermite either drop moto hatch or go down the main stairs. And their job here is to open this wall up. Now, if you have a Havana and like a Thermite, a lot of the time, it's actually kind of smart for the Havana to go down at the bottom of the main stairs. She can Havana at the bottom of this wall. No matter how many pellets you have left, if you have 6, if you have 2, if you have 4, just open up this wall. And this is similar to that Ace charge I showed in the last clip, where you guys can kind of help clear out a little bit of church for the most part, and then Thermite / Ace can go for this right side wall. And this will be the one that they actually walk through. This is just for kind of info and just to help clear a little bit of church out, just make it hard for them to kind of sit in certain positions. So after you do this, you are either going to be planting or you're going to be the one covering the planter, depending on who's alive and who's where. It's going to be between you and the other hard breacher. So let's say it's you that goes to plant. Once you know church is clear, it's going to be similar to the Ace roll. You're going to have this wall open from either Thermite or Ace. You're going to utilize this to get into sight and either plant behind the bar or plant on black box, and then go for the plant here. And besides that, the other push is going to be the dirt kitchen plant. And it's as simple as once you open up kitchen hatch, you want to make sure you have the sledge, which I'll go in depth on that, to just make a bunch of holes above armory, the back of arsenal, just to make it really hard for the defenders to play in the back of arsenal, clear it out, utilize some nades, and then ultimately, once you guys are ready to drop into sight to plant, you're just going to drop the kitchen hatch. You can either plant right here, or you can plant in this corner here. As I said, this bomb will cover you for the most part. And you want to clear out the back of Arsenal with the Sledge holes above. You also, from dirt with the Ace, you want to clear out Canine, and you want to try to clear out dummies, because those are the only people that can really contest the kitchen hatch drop. They can contest it from church, but it's super simple just to drop past it, or even throw a couple flashbangs through the typical rotate they have here, drop the hatch, and then hop into a plant position. And then everybody else should kind of be in the positions to hold certain angles to make sure nobody swings, nitros, or throws smokes to deny the plant. So we're going to move on to the Sophia here. Now, Sophia kind of has a boring job, to say the least, but it is very important for her to actually do this. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the garage control with the help of the Havana droning you. You're going to walk in and make sure you shoot this default cam. You can shoot this default cam without exposing yourself too much. So to shoot this default cam, and then instantly you need to start pre-aiming lounge to make sure if anybody is there, you are ready to take that gunfight. You want to make sure you claymore the ladder as soon as you're done clearing that angle there. And then after that, once you get yourself inside a secret with the help of the Havana droning, this is pretty much your entire job. You're going to be pretty much sitting inside a secret. You just want to make sure that nobody flanks. You also want to make sure, like, if there's Barb, if there's an Evil Eye, a Banshee, make sure you burn just in case there's an ADS. If there isn't, get the Banshee, get the Evil Eye, whatever's inside of the secret stairs here. And there's typically going to be a Jaeger that plays here. If there isn't, then you can take the blue control. But a lot of the time at the higher levels, he's going to be playing inside of blue. And you are pretty much just going to be in a stalemate for the most part. You want to try to see if you can get the pick on this Jaeger. And then ultimately late round, when your team is trying to get the execute down, if you're still dealing with the Jaeger inside of blue, you're just going to have to push through. You want to make sure you cover your angles. You can either hug the... typically, you would hug the right side, just so that this right side peak on blue generator, they can't see you. This allows you to cover just this one angle, and then from there, you can clear this angle on the left here. And then, obviously, you just want to kind of take some gunfights if necessary. It's very hard to kind of play blue, but over time, I'm sure you guys will kind of figure it out for the most part. You just want to pressure blue control so that they don't deny the plant from some of these holes. A lot of the time people make holes in this wall. They can, deny moto door walk in. They can deny the breach walk in. And then same thing with dirt push. They can also help deny the dirt door from either the rotate there or peeking this door here. So you just want to make sure that you put pressure on blue and ultimately get the guy out of blue, take blue control, and then you guys should be having a free plant for the most part. And we're going to move on to the Sledge here, and this is probably one of the most important jobs on the team just because you're required to pretty much clear the back of Arsenal or Armory no matter what. If you do a dirt push, you have to clear back Arsenal. If you do a church push, you still need to make sure you clear the back of Arsenal as well. So when it comes to the Sledge's role, you're going to start by entering either Jacuzzi or Logistics Hatch from the drone help of the Thermite / Ace. Once you get top floor control, you want to make sure you're being aware of any possible aggression if people decide to swing up main stairs. And then a lot of the time, I would recommend opening up this hole here, because this allows you, if somebody is playing aggressive on top main, if they decide to run down, you should be able to take the gunfight here. And then also, if people see these holes above top main stairs, they're going to be a little bit weary if they're actually going to hit the flank or not. And then you want to make a hole here, and this is typically just to shoot the default cam in the corner right here. Now, besides that, you're going to start working some holes inside a kitchen. And you do want to be careful with nitros. It's kind of very hard to teach how to sledge this. You just want to be unpredictable so that you don't get nitro, but I'll show you guys some very important holes that you should be making no matter what. You're going to want to make a hole in front of the freezer door. You want to make some holes on this west side of kitchen, just to make sure you clear kind of the back of Arsenal where this ash wall is here. Making this hole here is also really good as well. If the hatch is closed for a little while, you just open up this wall here, and you can see the church double door. And if the rotate is big enough, you can just, throw your nade through the wall and get a nade on the person playing by the church double door or behind the bomb chassis. It should be a free kill. And when it comes to denying the impact tricks, you just want to make enough holes so it's very scary / difficult for the person trying to impact trick to actually hit their impact tricks. And you just want to be looking down these holes to make sure that if they are going for an impact trick, you should be able to try and get the frag for the most part. And this is pretty much your job, like I said, for both attacks. You're just going to want to take the kitchen control, Sledge in the back Arsenal. You want to clear Arsenal because if you do a church push, you want to make sure nobody plays on the backside of Arsenal because they can just shoot this wall open and kill the people on the breach or inside of Moto or bottom main, and that is not good. Now, with the dirt push, same thing, except you just want to clear this because the plan is going to be dropping this kitchen hatch, and if people are playing back of Arsenal, as soon as you drop the kitchen hatch, you're going to get killed. So you want to make sure you clear it. You want to be aware of some certain angles that people can have. People sit behind this box near dummies and they get some pixels on you, so you do want to be careful when peeking some of these angles. And then obviously make sure K9 is clear. You can kind of see a decent chunk of K9. And then you can also check nades down to dummies. It is a little bit unsafe, but you can nade over there if needed. And that's pretty much going to be your job. You're just going to cover the Havana drop in the site hatch if you do a kitchen push or kitchen plant into Arsenal. And then if not, you're still going to be holding these holes just to make sure nobody swings the back of Arsenal. And last but not least, we're going to go over the Ash. Now, the job of the Ash is just to get herself into strip hallway, because you want to get her into toilet so that just in case anybody is running upstairs and they decide to run down these main stairs later into the round, you can always be inside of toilets to not only contest the aggression on the bottom of the stairs, but contest the aggression at the top of the stairs. And after this, you are pretty much going to just be helping where you see fit. If you need to get a Banshee, get an Evil Eye, you know, if you're doing a church push, if there's an Evil Eye inside a site, a lot of the time you're probably going to want to drop the, Evil Eye up on the jukebox. You want to try to pop that, have Havana burn the ADS, pop that, pop the Banshee. If Sledge dies, you have breach charges to make extra holes in the back of Armory. If you want to make some holes inside of the kitchen hallway, a lot of the time people like to kind of open up the floor here, and it also kind of opens up the wall. You can actually just breach the other side of the wall here, but you can use this to get some line of sight into the back of Armory. And this will also help kind of clear the people trying to impact trick. If this is open a little bit better than I have here, you guys can get some angles on the people trying to impact trick the kitchen hatch. But you're pretty much just going to be helping out where you think you need it or your team needs it. And then if anybody does die, you are also able to kind of retake positions. If Sophia dies in blue, you can go ahead and retake Sophia's position. If Sledge dies, like I said, you have breach charges to make extra holes in the floor, and you can kind of take that role for the most part. And that is pretty much it. If you see opportunities to try to get some frags, definitely take those opportunities. See if there's, certain plays that can be made, because that's pretty much what you are. You're just a fragger. So if you see some plays that can be made, try to make those plays. But ultimately, the main job is just to kind of fill where your team needs you, what sort of utility you need to use, just because Ash is kind of all about utility at the moment. With the lack of ADSs, since Jaeger and Lamai got nerfed, it's just a lot easier to take out all of their utility, so you want to make sure that you do use your Ash charges to get all of that stuff. But that is pretty much it for Ash. It's kind of simple, just a lot of fragging, and that's it. Now, before I end the video, if you guys have a suggestion on the next map I go over, let me know down in the comments below. I'm going to finish up Clubhouse, but then I'll be more than happy to move on to the next map. And I know these videos are going to be a little bit longer just because, in general, it's just a little bit more in-depth when it comes to attacking, just because attacking overall is a little bit harder than defending. So these videos are going to be a little bit longer. I'm going to try my best to try and shorten it as much as possible, but I do want to make sure I keep it as in-depth as possible. If you guys have suggestions on things that I can do differently, if you guys have questions on, certain things that I missed in this video, let me know down in the comments below as well. I'll do my best to answer those, and I'll do my best to fix that for future videos. I'm still kind of learning this different style with how to attack videos because they are different from the how to defend, but I'll do my best to kind of figure that out. But anyways, guys, that's going to be all from me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did so, don't forget to leave a like on the video. And if you guys are new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button and notification bell so that you guys don't miss a future video. Anyways, I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.